Yo, welcome back to the channel, everyone. And in this video, I'm going to go ahead and rant a little bit. Now, tomorrow we are getting the patch notes for the Cold War Season 6 update. This is going to be the last major update that we're getting within Black Ops Cold War, and I think it's imperative this update is executed properly. So, with that being said, the like goal on this video is going to be 750 likes. If we can get 750 likes in under 24 hours, that'd be absolutely incredible. Now, let me know down in the comment section right now, what is one thing you guys want to see add within Black Ops Cold War during this last season, and also, what is your biggest complaint that you've had with this game since it has been released? Now, personally, my biggest complaint with Black Ops Cold War is actually not the content itself. Yes, it was lacking the last, I'd say, 3 seasons or so, but my biggest complaint is the lack of proper weapon balance. Now, in this video, I'm going to be elaborating on the epidemic, the plague that has been ruining Black Ops Cold War this past season, and that's going to be the Akimbo Marshals, the EM2, as well as the Tech 9. This is hands down the worst meta that I've seen in Call of Duty history, next to the Akimbo 1887s that were running rampant back in Modern Warfare 2. Now, the difference between this and that meta is that meta only lasted a couple of weeks. Those weapons were patched relatively quickly, and honestly, just in time before Infinity Ward kind of dissolved itself back during that time period. Now, the Akimbo Marshal, the Tech 9, and the EM2 meta has been running, honestly, too long here in Black Ops Cold War. I cannot tell you how many people have literally packed up, quit the game, because lobbies are legitimately unplayable. It is impossible to get into a lobby where you're not going to run into an Akimbo Marshal with a fire shotgun, a Tech 9 either burst or fully automatic, or somebody sitting in the back with an EM2. Now, I understand, it gets to the point where you're going to have to run those weapons to even compete. And it's hilarious that we were complaining about weapons like the LC-10, the AK-70 for you, the MP5, the DMR-14, the M16, when we literally have a meta that you cannot escape any of these weapons at close range, medium range, or long range. If you run into an Akimbo Marshal at close to medium range, you're dead. If you run into a Tech 9 at close to medium range, you're dead. If you run into an EM2 at any range, you're dead, unless you're running these weapons. Honestly, Treyarch, I am begging you guys, if you do not balance these weapons properly, the game is literally going to be unplayable throughout the entire lifespan of Season 6, and that's going to be a horrible way to kind of wrap up Black Ops Cold War. Now, here is where I'm going to put forward my suggestions on what actually happens within Black Ops Cold War. So, we're going to talk about the Akimbo Marshals. I'm not too sure how many of you guys agree with me on this, but I feel like these should not have been added to Black Ops Cold War at all. At least the Akimbo Fire Shells should not have been added to Black Ops Cold War at all. It's almost to the point where I would 100% agree with just removing these weapons and then replacing it with another DLC weapon. I think a lot of us would enjoy if they were to take out the Marshals and bring something in like the MP40 or any other fan favorite DLC weapon that could kind of fill the void and remove something that's unnecessary that is currently breaking the game, because you literally cannot play this game. You cannot rush. You cannot be aggressive when every single person is running around with an Akimbo Marshal either as a damn primary or swapping to it every time they get pushed in a close to medium range engagement. It's honestly hilarious, and something like this cannot be happening. Now, as far as the Tech 9, they need to go ahead and they need to reduce the damage, they need to increase the recoil, and they also need to drastically reduce the bullet velocity and the fire rate for both the fully automatic attachment as well as the burst fire. This should literally be a weapon where it's going to be a high risk, high reward, or you have to be skilled to use the semi-automatic in order to get a 3-shot kill. It doesn't make sense how you can have a fully auto SMG or a burst SMG that's going to kill in 3 shots and outgun every single game at close to medium range, that on top of this has no recoil. It just doesn't make any sense, and it just completely throws off the SMG balance. It's hilarious that they went ahead and nerfed the AK-70 for you and the MP5, but they haven't touched the Tech 9 properly. It's just mind-boggling to me, because when this game first came out, everybody, and I mean everybody, was complaining about the AK-74U and the MP5, which realistically are not even remotely good compared to the Tech 9, but they got nerfed not once but twice within a 1 month period. It just doesn't make any sense. So I think they need to go ahead and dumb down the Tech 9 to the point where if you want to get that 3-shot insta-kill, you're going to have a relatively fast trigger finger, or you're going to have really good recoil control to utilize those burst fire attachments or the fully auto attachment. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think, because the Tech 9 is just too good for what it is, and honestly, it doesn't take any skill at all. Now, for the final weapon, we need to talk about the EM2, which doesn't make sense either. It is literally a 3-shot AR that has a decent fire rate, that has literally 0 recoil without running any of the recoil controlling attachments, and on top of that, they give you an optic that makes this weapon even easier to use at longer ranges. Stuff like this just does not make any sense, and Trent, you need to go ahead and, number one, reduce the range of the EM2, making it a more consistent 4-shot kill, not a constant 3-shot kill. And you also need to go ahead and increase the recoil on this AR, maybe even drop the magazine capacity down, because the gun is just simply too easy to use, literally too easy to use. They reduced that fire rate, didn't do anything. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. These nerfs are doing nothing. Now, the Tech 9 got a nerf. I don't notice it in the slightest. The EM2 also got a nerf. I don't notice it in the slightest. The Marshal, please, for the love of God, Treyarch, go ahead and balance this properly. They need to reduce the damage. They need to go ahead and reduce the range. They need to increase how long it takes to reload, and they also need to go ahead and increase the sprint to fire time so this weapon cannot be pulled up as quickly, especially if you're running the akimbo attachment. So it's not going to be one of those, you see somebody with it, you put 3 bullets into them, either with an XM4, because if you don't have a Tech 9 or EM2, you're not going to kill them before they just blast you and you have nothing to do. Honestly, this gun needs to be addressed, and you guys need to do it accordingly. Maybe go ahead and reduce the movement speed as well with these shotguns, like they did with the akimbo magnums. That'd be a pretty decent buff, or I should say a nerf with these weapons, but we'll have to see what's going to be going down, because this shotgun is literally plaguing Black Ops Cold War as we speak. I want to go ahead and put my opinions on the weapon balance update. I want to go ahead and put my opinions on some of these weapons need to be addressed within Black Ops Cold War going into Season 6. We're going to get the patch notes for all these weapons tomorrow, so please go ahead and address these accordingly. Now, we're also going to get a buff to the C58. This AR honestly is underpowered. It needs to be on par with the XM4, because the XM4 outside of the EM2 is technically the best AR next to obviously the Krig and the AK, but just overall, just universal use, I feel like more people are content and more comfortable using the XM4 and the AK. The Krig is good, but at the same time, that C58 definitely needs to be buffed up so it is, you know, a more meta assault rifle, or at least so it competes with other meta ARs. Now, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about this. Honestly, I don't think any of the weapons in this game need to be addressed. It's far too late to go ahead and buff a bunch of minor guns. It's Season 6. What they need to do right now is focus on patching up all of the weapons that are currently plaguing the game, which are going to be the Marshals, the Tech 9, and the EM2. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hate making rant videos, but I think this stuff needs to be said, because nobody, literally nobody, is speaking out about what's going on here in multiplayer, and it's crazy, man. It is honestly crazy. Like I said, hope you guys do enjoy. It's been your boy Ears, and we're going to see exactly what goes down when the patch notes release tomorrow. So, catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.